Space exploration generates a ton of data, but recently artificial intelligence has been used to help us make sense of it, to find the patterns. AI also powers the rovers that are out there on celestial bodies, like NASA's Curiosity rover that knows how to avoid obstacles and can plan its own path. AI even helps with the safety of landing rockets and discovering new planets, like when Google and NASA teamed up in 2017 to find 2 new exoplanets. I mean, in the future, AI might help us find life on other planets, identify dangerous asteroids, and even replace astronauts altogether with AI-controlled robots. That means less risk, more reward, more discoveries, more breakthroughs, more of the good stuff. AI is literally the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe. Alright, with the way we're treating this planet, let's talk about exoplanets, because this one is on its last legs. Those are Earth-like planets that orbit a different sun. Basically a new house for us to move into. There's a new challenge that combines artificial intelligence and astronomy to help scientists find new exoplanets. The Aerial Data Challenge of 2023 wants to bring together a bunch of machine learning specialists to work with astronomers to make sense of the European Space Agency's Future Aerial Telescope. Launching in 2029, when the Aerial Telescope is up and running, it's going to look at the atmospheres of over 1,000 identified exoplanets to tell us more about them. So it's going to specialize in looking at how light bends as it moves through the atmosphere, which tells us a little bit about what that atmosphere is made of. And maybe if we get the right combination, we can identify an exoplanet that looks like Earth. But to do this, scientists need new ways to analyze all of that data and make sense of it. So the challenge is open to anyone, and the winner gets to present at a top data science conference. No, to present at a data science conference, the dream. So now I'm about to hit you with something that I think is kind of upending cosmology. This is big news. It turns out that gravity can turn into light. Like, I was trying to tell that to my friends and they were like,
bro, that's not how the universe works.
But this is science, so I guess some of the sheep don't want to wake up right now. A group of scientists have found that a photon, which is normally a massless carrier of light, can change into another particle if it interacts with a heavy atom. It can split off into an electron and a positron, which are both massive particles. And researchers went on to figure out that this means that in the early universe, gravity played an important role in creating light. So in the early universe, the gravitational impacts of waves hitting each other was much greater. And these waves would slosh back and forth throughout the entire universe. And waves have a tendency to either cancel or amplify, and where it amplified, we got much more mass. And from the gravitational waves that were building on each other, creating a resonance effect, we got effects to the electromagnetic field, high energy radiation, and the spontaneous appearance of photons. Which means gravity generated light. Everything you were taught in school was a lie. Welcome to the truth. AI has also revealed some stunning new images of black holes. 3 years ago, scientists captured the first ever photograph of a black hole using the Event Horizon Telescope. And now they've used a new machine learning technique called Primo to reprocess that original data, revealing a sharper view of the glowing material that swirls around this black hole named M87 star. Now, the technique used to make the first image is called interferometry, and that involved combining information from 7 different radio telescopes. So researchers made the original Primo algorithm to fill in the gaps.
To fill in the holes and complete the code.
But now the Primo algorithm has been updated to factor in 30,000 new images of black holes, simulated black holes. And by doing that, it can fill in the gaps with more accuracy, and we can see a better photo of what M87 star actually looks like. And even better, this new sharper image gives us enough detail that we can actually measure some of the gravitational forces around it. And in the future, the Primo algorithm might even be ready to take on Sagittarius A star, the supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way. So now let's talk about space junk and the pivotal role that AI is playing in China's space exploration. So there's these Chinese scientists, and they're working on ways to make sure that a spaceship doesn't hit space junk. Artificial intelligence to the rescue. Space junk is a big problem for all space missions. As it turns out, there's actually more than 100 million pieces of garbage floating around. Like, didn't we learn our lessons from the oceans, people? Space debris and spacecrafts both travel at incredibly high speeds. So even a little piece of debris can sometimes just puncture one of those things. And with more and more satellites being launched all across the world, space junk is going to become a much bigger problem, which makes traditional methods like human judgment out of the the question. AI has to come help with this. Too bad all the Burning Man people aren't astronauts, because we need the like leave no trace thing, you know? As long as we're talking about Burning Man, let's talk about space medicine, like the medicine you take in space. So the Intel Corporation and Frontier Development Labs are working together to collect data from astronauts that can be used for medical research. Spending time in space can be super harmful to the human body. It's not designed for it. Without gravity, it's really easy to lose muscle and bone density, and just feeling weak can affect you psychologically on top of it, so it's kind of a chain of bad things that can happen. And when missions cost hundreds of millions of dollars, you don't want a mission to fail just because somebody got sick. So that's why they're incorporating artificial intelligence to collect all of those biomarkers before they leave and when they come back, and then make a prediction about what kind of disease and health outcomes the person is going to have before they go next time. So now let's explore our Curiosity rover, because it just got a game-changing new update. Did you know that NASA's Curiosity Mars rover just got a brand new update? The software brings over 180 different improvements to the robot's capabilities, including a speed update where it now goes faster, and that saves wear and tear on the wheels also.
Nice.
So Curiosity has been on Mars for so long. I forgot that it was 2012 when it was landed. And it's still out there looking for its original objective, which is to find evidence of bacteria on Mars. Now, one of the best parts about this upgrade is that it just will use less energy. It's a more optimized software, which leaves more power for scientific activities. It also completely changes the entire workflow process of how a photograph is taken, how it's packaged, how it's sent back to Earth, and how we can extract information from that. Now they have more control over the sample collecting arm, and they can point the head more accurately. But now back here on Earth, NASA's using artificial intelligence to completely redesign the components that they send to space. So NASA has started using artificial intelligence to make parts for their space missions. Now this new method is called evolved structures, and it's already been used to make a whole bunch of new things for NASA, like parts for telescopes and tools to hold optical components. So the process starts by a human giving the artificial intelligence system a list of what the part should do. And then the AI comes up with a bunch of different ideas. The top ones that the person chooses are then tested in a simulation. And the simulation varies all sorts of ways the tool and the environment might interact until it comes up with something that it thinks is the best. And then they build it in a process that now takes weeks and used to take months. And the tools that this method has made so far have actually been better, they've lasted longer, and they can handle more weight. But we can't limit AI to Earth. It's got galactic conquest dreams. So artificial intelligence has done everything from help us see a black hole to make a part on Earth. It's definitely part of the future of space discovery. So companies like Google, NASA, and the European Space Agency are using artificial intelligence daily for tasks like analyzing space stuff, controlling systems, and mapping stars and black holes. AI is making a big difference in how we explore space. But it's also about the robots that will explore space for us. AI is especially helpful when it comes to looking at the geology of a planet, understanding what a moon is made of and the rock formations that we see on other planets. And it generates information that's just way too much for a human to handle. And that's where artificial intelligence really shines. It's great at finding patterns in massive amounts of data. And because it's a massive universe out there, it's the perfect tool. But astronomy is only part of it. In the future, when we have manned missions, it might also help provide the emotional support people need. It could assist in a disaster situation. It can help navigate and prevent satellites and space junk from hitting each other. It really can help humans be the best versions of ourselves. So no doubt, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to artificial intelligence and our universe.
Iceberg right ahead!
Smash that subscribe button.